everybody. I am sitting here with Emily White, new owner of Whitehouse Premier Realty.
Yes.
So how exciting is that?
So exciting. It's really a dream, something that I've been wanting to do for years. And now
How'd you get the courage to do it? That takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, I would say definitely after last year's book of business and going through, you learn so much every single deal that you do.
We were just talking about
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so now it was just the right time and so many moving parts and steps, opening and running your own business, but each day making a list and checking things off, and here we are.
Here we are. Yeah. So when did you actually start? I know it was January?
You're waiting for your approvals and making sure everything is done in order. So approvals and things came early January. Okay. And then since then has been building website and basic things like doing business cards. And
now, do you have a location yet? Or
I am going to be working on my home office. Okay. I got a occupational license with City of Ocala. Okay. So that was great.
Yeah, easy.
Waited for, we got that approval. So that was doing things by the book,
You are, man. You are.
So that's done. And, for the time being, just working out of my home office and can meet people wherever they want, really.
Well, tell me, how many years have you actually been in real estate?
I got my real estate license in 2018. Okay. So about 6 years now.
Because I remember when we had lunch, right? We did have lunch, right? It was like last year.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And I think Ivy House, right? Yep. One of my favorite places. But I know you hadn't been in it very long, but you've just done so well. And so what were you doing before?
Before that, I worked for a really large technology staffing firm based out of Tampa. Okay. And so I had moved around in different departments in there. It was primarily staffing, but I shifted in. I started working for financial companies like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, staffing for them. And then I was finding that there was so much fraud in the industry as far as people trying to obtain jobs with false credentials.
Really?
Fake documents, fake resumes. So I moved over to the immigration department to kind of combat that. Okay. So I worked in the immigration department for a handful of years. Wow. Before I switched over to real estate.
So is your background more on a recruiting background?
Yep. Technology recruiting. So it would be jobs, developers, and people writing code, in that kind of profession. But a lot of that work would be for, say, a Wells Fargo. Right. Staffing for Wells Fargo for developers.
Wow. Okay.
But a majority of the population of employees were coming from overseas, from India or other countries.
Gotcha.
And so making sure their credentials were correct and also being able to get them over from India over to the U.S.
Gotcha.
So really a lot of interesting dynamics in
was that more on the call center outsourcing stuff?
Yes, but also they're applying with their resume, but then you have to walk them through and figure out is your resume correct? So you're basically screening them to make sure that they're not lying about what their credentials truly are. So that was very interesting to me.
Right.
And ultimately your job is to staff the position, but you also want to make sure that you don't have someone in the job that turns around and in 2 weeks from now gets fired because they had a fake resume. They really didn't have any of this experience.
So a lot of international people were working with.
Yep. So primarily international people, but also learning how to negotiate an offer. You're telling them they've gotten the job. We're discussing compensation. What do you need? Relocation packages, just the same that translates over to real estate.
Yeah, I was going to say that you can see a common ground there, as far as the negotiation skills and things like that. Because I was going to say, why real estate?
Yeah. I loved real estate for forever, but I went to school at USF in Tampa and had gotten my bachelor's. And right when I graduated was really when the economy was falling apart. Right. I mean, it was. I got my degree in 2008. I went to interviews.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Yeah. And your degree is in?
It's in mass communications.
Okay.
So
this is perfect.
Yeah.
We don't even need to continue going on. No wonder why you're so good at it. Okay.
So public relations. So I walked in and was doing interviews with 25 other people at the table, all wanting the same job. And I'm coming out of school with a bachelor's degree with, internships.
Right.
But, you're
no
20-something years old. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I just went right back into school, got a master's degree also. I kind of doubled down. Looking back, should I have gotten a degree in something else? Yes, probably. But I will say that degree, the master's degree, really taught me more life skills. And
what was that in?
Strategic communications management is what that one's called.
Okay.
So I'm a double graduate of USF.
Yeah. Are you from Tampa?
I'm from Ocala.
You are?
So, truly I'm from Lake Weir, Summerfield area.
Okay.
But, you say Ocala.
Yeah.
But truly 30 minutes outside of Ocala,
of course,
out by the lake.
Yeah. So you grew up there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so how did you get to Tampa? Just the school itself?
Or? So I felt like I'm a diehard Gator fan. But I felt like maybe that wasn't quite far enough away from home.
Uh-huh.
And I was a cheerleader. I got a scholarship to cheer at USF.
Oh, wow.
So, so I joined their co-ed program right away. And once I found out that I got accepted and that I, made the cheerleading team, it was just no question. It was like, this is what I'm doing. This
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you like Tampa?
Yeah, loved it.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's because I lived in St. Pete for many years. Yeah, so my daughter lives in Tampa now, and she's a nurse over there.
Yeah.
But it's a different culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We loved it. Both my husband and I were working there professionally for a handful of years, and it was time to decide, okay, well, what are we doing? Are we going to buy a home ourselves? Hindsight's 2020. If we would have bought a home in Tampa back in 2013,
you would have made a lot of money.
We would have done fabulous.
Really well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But we decided to move back to Ocala, and we bought our first home in Ocala, and here we are.
And you have 2 children, a boy and a girl?
Yep. I have a twin boy-girl,
That's right.
6-year-olds.
That's right. Okay.
Yep.
So they're, obviously they were born here.
Uh-huh. Well, they were born in Gainesville, so they're baby Gators too, I guess. But yes, but our family was here.
And what does your husband do?
He's a CPA, so he's a partner at Crippen and Company.
Oh, okay. So you've got all the corners here.
Yes.
Factored in. So now, does he work at home as well?
No, he's primarily in the office.
Okay.
I mean, once in a blue moon or working really late. It's busy season right now. He'll come home and
see him
he may be a 12 o'clock or a 1 or 2-er. You never know.
Yep. So this is the time that you probably are like an absentee husband.
We're running a little crazy right now, but it's normal.
It's what you know. It's what you know.
Yep.
Well, I mean, obviously you moved here, and then did you get right into real estate?
So we moved back from Tampa in 2013. And we bought our first house, and then we had our kids in 2017. So I was still working remotely for my company in Tampa, traveling back and forth to Tampa. And then
With twins.
Well, not
before.
Before, yes. So when the twins came, I worked another couple months, and it was a very corporate job. You have to be working 55, 60 hours a week.
Yep.
I always knew I wanted to get my real estate license. So when the twins were 6 months old, I got my license.
And that's how it happened.
Yes.
And look
and
at
the
you
rest
now.
is history.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
So, do you mind saying where you were before, in case anybody's wondering, since you just started?
Sure. Yes, I was with Roberts Real Estate for 6 years. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Yes. Probably learned a lot there.
Yes.
A lot of experience in that office.
Yep.
A lot of experience.
Yep.
I bet they were sad to see you
yes.
go.
Yeah. It was
hard. It's always hard when you have to, change is good, but it's always hard.
It was. I did not realize how difficult it would be to say goodbye and to move on. You have these big dreams and stuff, but it's all about relationships at the end of the day. And it was hard to say, hey, I'm leaving and doing something different. But obviously everybody was very happy for me.
Of course,
and,
they're all, And
a lot of my best friends are with Roberts.
Right.
And, I've had those relationships
forever.
And yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your brokerage. I mean, why use you? What's special about your Premier Brokerage?
Yes. So I pride myself on making sure that everybody is accounted for. We are not hey, we're gonna do bust out as many transactions as possible,
right?
And maybe I talk to you one time and we don't talk again.
Right.
Very relationship based, one-on-one. It really doesn't matter whether your piece of property that you have to sell is $10,000,
right?
Or it could be millions.
You're right. You're going to treat.
You're still going to be treated the same level of respect. I'm going to answer the phone.
Yep.
We're going to text back. It is not a pass along to the next person in line, and then you don't even know who you originally talked to.
And
situation.
I love that because that is. I mean, you're truly. Sounds like you're a boutique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so to me, they always have just a little bit more of that personal, family type oriented touch. And I know a lot of folks in the business and a lot of agents out there that do the same thing. They want to have that culture that the customer experience is like white glove.
Yeah. And I think that's what, for me, that's very important because there are so many real estate agents. It's such a saturated job.
It is.
And you could literally walk anywhere and you're going to know someone that's a realtor.
Yep.
So how am I going to be different? And how is my brokerage going to be different? How are we going to stand out?
Yep.
And it's going to be because we are not letting people slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
We make people feel valued as they should be, and that their life and that their stuff is just as important as anybody else's.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't really matter what the value is that you're selling.
It's not. It's like someone said to me today. When we were talking about recruiting, actually, and it's not necessarily the seat. It's the chair that someone's going to be sitting into. And what makes you, be different from the rest, and what is important to you as a, I was going to ask you if you plan on building a team at some point, but it's always about, do you, what sets you apart from your competition?
Yeah.
And to your point, there's just as many lenders out there as there are agents, and you have to do something different.
Yeah.
You really do. And I mean, I see, number one, your social media is up and running.
Yes.
So anyone that wants to check her out on your business page, you want to give them the website?
Sure. So our website is just Whitehouse, all one word, premierrealty.com. Website's up and running. We have a QR code. If you see us out, if you see a business card, use the QR code. It'll direct you to a site. You'll see LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, really any avenue that you want to search us, you can find us those ways. And I think that social media is really important. Not even necessarily that someone may use you because they saw your social media, but it's showing that you're up and running and that you're relevant and you have listings.
It's funny you say that because we did a video last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was all about what I see in the difference in the successful and the success of a lot of agents out there, and really social media is so important to like your age group right now. And I've said it before when I came to Prime Lending from Wells Fargo that I had to completely reinvent myself, and it was like, how am I going to do that? And to your point, the more that you're exposing yourself, number one, and, you're sharing success stories, you're sharing, sometimes it's not always easy, or you're sharing everything. But I think out of social media, what people get a chance to really do is get to know you before they get to know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I looked you up on your personal page. I looked you up on your, because, I feel like I know. I knew you had 2 children.
Yeah.
I forgot they were twins.
Yep.
But I saw. I don't know which one was on the baseball team.
Oh.
Or so, yeah, right. And people see that, and I think that people connect now.
Yeah.
First by getting to know who you are before they make that contact with you.
Yeah.
And I see that happen a lot.
Yeah.
I think your logo is very cool.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love it. Yep,
Thanks.
yep. And but I think that, social media being a forefront, obviously, because you want to stay top of the house. You know, you want people to see you. And I've always said this, whether it's Facebook or whatever platform you're on, I mean, it's all about making it a consistent. I mean, sometimes I post things just to get out there because I forget or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just that consistency. When someone thinks real estate, they think of Emily because they've seen her, they know her, and it's not necessarily, like you said, about always getting business. It's more about the relationships. And when that time comes, whether it's their parents or their grandkids or whatever that come and they go, oh yeah, Debbie Cowan, I remember her from, So I think that's our biggest platform. I have for 6 years since I came here, because like I said, I'd never had to do it before. And when I came here, I was like, you want me to do what? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I had to force myself to do it. And it's been a very positive experience, as well as now I'm addicted to it, unfortunately. So I'm always thinking about, what am I going to say next? What am I going to do next? What picture am I going to take next? What post am I going to make next? But it does give people a lot of insight to really, because I don't think people just look on there and they go, oh, geez, this is just, this is fake or whatever. I think they really connect. They start connecting. Yeah. I've met so many people, mainly business professionals, through it that would never have known me.
Yep.
And I always say, it's the cheapest advertising you can ever do because you're hitting the masses. Yep. So you, of all people, with communications being your background, you have to, know that. Yep. That's a big win.
It's funny because when I was starting to put everything together and I was, I'll have someone do this for me, or I'll have this one. But then because I have the degrees in communications and all of this, and a little bit of OCD, and I am an editor, like I can find a misspelling, I can find a thing right away where I'm like, I can do this myself for now. So
Well, when you get so busy, it worked, number one, but when you get so busy, it's so easy to hire somebody else to do it for you, right? Yes. Because you just get to the point where you want that to be out there and consistent and all that. So I know you've got the social media thing going on. Do you have plans to grow your brokerage?
Yes. I think that if you have a brokerage, absolutely, that should also always be the plan. Goal. Yeah. So you have your sales goals. I would love to sell X amount of millions.
Yes.
But also too is when I get my bearings in the next couple months, absolutely. Yeah.
So you'll be looking and stuff.
I think one of my strengths is teaching. I taught some when I was in college and grad school too, which I think,
see that.
Yeah. So I think that being a good mentor and teaching people, I think there's a big gap when someone gets a real estate license and then what do I do now?
Right.
What do I do with this?
That is so key to people's success. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get into a brokerage, no matter who it is, and they actually do offer support, they do offer training, whatever, it's such a difference because I see all sides of it. I see people, in fact, I had one just recently I was telling Gabby about. I mean, that you want to just kind of reach your arms around them and give them a hug and tell them it's going to be okay.
Yeah. But you're like, you need some help.
And I know that I'm training this person.
Yeah.
Because they're not necessarily getting where they need it, and I'm just like, I don't mind doing it, and I actually love working with new agents and stuff. But it's also very sad for them, if they don't get the support they need where they're at, and it makes a big difference. And there are companies out there that blow it away in training, and there are some that just you can tell every time you get somebody.
And really, for a realtor, the main way that anyone's going to learn is doing deals.
Yep.
Every deal is so different and brings such a different, just different questions and different people and situations.
You learn by doing trials and tribulations. Yes. I mean, we were just talking about one of your deals that recently happened, and who would have ever thought, right? So, and that's the same in my business. I mean, every time I think I'm so smart and I can handle anything. I get hit with something and I'm just like, what? I mean, I thought I knew everything. I've been doing this so long, you should not be able to surprise me anymore, but I still get surprised.
It happens.
It does.
Yep.
It does. Well, I am so excited for your new brokerage, and I'm so excited that you're out there.
Yeah.
Are you joining any network groups or anything?
I am. I just joined Women's Council of Realtors.
Oh, good.
Through OMCAR, and they have welcomed me with open arms.
Oh my gosh, I've been a member.
They are lovely.
Yes. I have been a member with them for almost 14 years. I think
really?
we talked about it.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I'm not missing any teachable, learning opportunities. Since I was not, since I have left my prior brokerage,
right.
I still need to learn. I still need to know what's changing, lawsuits and things, and what does that mean for us in real estate. So I also have been participating in a lot more of stuff through our local MLS, Stellar MLS, and now that I have my own brokerage, I get invited to those broker calls and WebExes and things.
So you're on top of everything that's happening. Yes.
So that is really neat and exciting. So you just
what about CEP? Anything on them?
I haven't done a lot with CEP yet. I know they have their lunch or breakfast, which are usually around 7 a.m.
You can never get a seat.
It's early.
It's hard to get into. I mean, they're always jam packed.
So, but different.
They're having. The reason why I'm bringing that up is they're having their. I'm a member there, so but they're having their annual luncheon, which they have at WEC every year, and I bet there's 350 to 400 people there.
Yep.
It is one of the best. It's not necessarily just about the networking there. It's more about the information about the county, what's coming, what's up and coming. I would love to invite you if you want to go as my guest.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, it's the 28th of February. So, and so if you would like to, let me know. I'll put you down and.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and it's. I walked away last year learning so much about the infrastructure and where we're going with that, because I mean, that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of new people coming in, and I mean, I cannot believe it. I said it to an agent yesterday that I do a lot of work with. I said, I cannot believe that I'm still dealing with 80% of my business coming from out of state.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not stopping.
No.
So,
no.
Yeah.
We'll continue to grow. And then in Florida, we don't have state taxes.
Yep.
So that's huge.
It's huge.
Cost of living is still a lot cheaper than places like New York and California. So
big time.
I think, and then Central Florida compared to South Florida, we're priced
cheaper.
Yes.
And we I think we have a better culture here too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different, but it's not, I mean, this is where it's funny. This is where I came to raise my kids. This is where I came to raise my kids.
Yep.
And I think I've said that many, many times, that I lived in St. Pete for about 14 years, and my kids were grown. My son was grown, and my daughter was still in high school. But that, as soon as she graduated college, I was back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they started here and we moved there. But yeah, I mean, this is just a good place. It's just it's a great place.
I agree. That's why we came
back
from Tampa too.
Well, to raise the kids.
Here we are.
Start your family. Yeah. Well, I congratulate you on your new brokerage. If they can, if you want to let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. Yes. So you can always email me, Emily@WhitehousePremierRealty.com. Visit our website, WhitehousePremierRealty.com. Find us on Instagram. We are Whitehouse Sells Premier Realty on Instagram. We have LinkedIn, Facebook. Go to our business page.
Call?
Yes. And the most obvious one, give us a call. Phone number 352-572-4018. It goes directly to me, so
Emily
give us
White.
a call. Yes.
Emily White.
Yes, that's
Whitehouse Premier Realty. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It went by fast. It was quick, but I'm so excited to introduce you as a broker now.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
not an easy feat.
Yes.
So thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
Thanks.